Okay, guys, we're back to take care of this. So I took some time off from doing this because this fight is such a pain. And when I say time off, I mean time off. Like, like, decided to relax for about a month and a half. So, I'm gonna have to remember exactly how to fight this pain in the ass. This is not gonna go well, as you might expect. So we'll see what happens. Need to get Stitch up as fast as possible. Need to block immediately, then get Stitch up as fast as possible. That makes sense. I'm sorry, I'm trying to remember the controls. One of the things I'm also doing, this might help a little bit. Normally what I was doing is I have my PS2 routed not PS2, my PS3 is routed to go through my computer, so I record off my computer, and it gives me video that I record off of. And for the majority of Kingdom Hearts, I had no problem recording off the screen. But the problem is there's this slight, like, half a second to 3/4 of a second lag that's gonna, naturally cause me problems. So I'm actually playing on my TV now. I actually set it up so I can actually use my TV for this. Okay. Got Stitch, because we know how awesome Stitch is. So now, hopefully, I'll be able to do some stuff. There we go. Okay, let's get some hits in. Remember, it's 1. And then we're done. Oh, no. Yeah, don't you do that. Don't you do that nonsense to me. 1, 2, 3. Done. Heal myself. Let Stitch do his work. Oh, crap. Okay, here we go. Okay, let's stop that nonsense. Stitch still has plenty of time. 1, 2, 3. Hit. And get away. Okay. Not too worried about that. Hit him a couple more times. We're almost at the halfway point. We're getting there. What has been locked? Okay, that's fine. Except it's not fine. That's really bad. Get me in there. Okay. Okay, commands are no longer locked. Okay. Stitch! Stitch, I need health, buddy! I need a mana! You gotta help me, buddy! I need it! This is so, it's so nerve-wracking. I'm remembering how this works, how the movesets work, but man, this is an absolute pain. I'm remembering it, and one of the reasons why I was taking a break is I was getting really salty about this. About having to fight this guy, about losing to him. And, I was thinking, do I want to go back and do I want to farm up attack power or something like that? I actually have a strategy I want to try after this attempt. Ah, shit. Okay, we're good. That's what I wanted. That right there. Okay, we're good. Yeah, that's what I wanted. I wanted to get into that position. But I was thinking, do I want to up my attack power? And the answer really is no. You don't get too much out of attack power out of this. You're only stopping a small amount of hits. And yes, technically, those small amount of hits may be what makes you win. But I really don't think it's going to be that big of a thing. I really don't. That being said, I also, considering the strategy that we're using, I don't think the ultimate weapon's really going to help me here, so I think we're going to go, where are you? Where's my, There's a certain one I want. Where is my... Oh, it's on final form. Okay. I was thinking Winter's Proof, but never mind. Ultimate Weapon actually does more damage. The other question is, do I want to go like Fenrir? That may be a good idea. Maybe Fenrir. It has increased range over over normal, and the small the combos aren't helping us much. So let's try this. This is going to be a little bit of a weird thing, because I don't normally do this. But let's go for Fenrir. I was thinking about using Winter's Proof, because I know it's pretty strong, but it's not. It's actually not all that good. And Fenrir's only going to give me, you know, one more strength. So, as I said, the strength is not going to be a huge thing out of this. It's not going to make, us win. It's, you know, only going to reduce maybe 1, maybe 2 hits over the course of the entire fight is my assumption.
Let's go.
Okay. Oh, we can only use magic against him right now. I don't know where he went. Okay. Okay, this is going to be kind of weird because this is instant, like, instant nonsense. That said, we're doing some good damage. Okay, let's get in here and go again. Okay, need to heal up. Let's let Stitch just do his job. This is what Stitch does. This is Stitch's job. Again, letting Stitch do his job. That's the point. Gets this guy in the air, gives me the ability to get in here, do my finishers. I did my aerial recovery a little bit too fast. I don't know. That seems like a decent option. I guess what I'm gonna do a changeover. We'll try working with Fenrir for a bit. You know, Donald and Goofy, they're basically not doing anything, so I'm not really worried about them right now. So let's go ahead and we'll change over to Fenrir. I have the best possible defense, right? Like, I could craft something that's going to be a little more defensive, but I don't think that matters. What we really care about is the strength here. Do we have... I don't think we have anything else to give us better strength than we have right now. And that gives me MP Rage. And that... Okay, so... I mean, part of me wants to get rid of Cosmic Arts to get a Shadow Archive, but the thing is that actually lowers my strength. So it doesn't feel like it's going to be that big of a thing. Okay, and then what we're also going to do, as you might expect, is we're going to go ahead and leave real quick, so that way that just saves. And then we're going to turn around and come back in. This way, if something happens that does cause me to die, which is very likely as I relearn how to fight this asshole, if I do something that causes me to die, when we respawn, I will still have Fenrir on me, as opposed to having to redo this all over and over and over again. So we will we'll continue to try. This is a tough fight, but it seems, I guess after sleeping on it for literally like 2 months, this doesn't seem as bad as it was. Okay, you wanna... You want to do something for me, Stitch? Knock him up, please. Thank you. Thank you. That's what I wanted to see. It seems like the aerial combos do more damage to him. Yeah, I'm definitely willing to make that assumption. Okay, thank you, Stitch. I appreciate it. Okay. Get the hell out of that. Heal myself, and when you get on the ground, okay. Yeah, it definitely seems like the aerial combos do more against this guy. That's obnoxious. Also obnoxious, because I didn't have a chance to do much there. Okay, thank you. Okay. Stitch, need some help, buddy. That'll work. Because I can get a little bit of health. Remember, the big thing about second chance and things like that is it cares how much health did I have before it triggers. Okay, should land right next to me, or be caught up in the air right next to me, because Stitch is awesome. What's he doing? He's doing this attack. Okay, that's fine. We'll just continue making our way out of it. Stitch has got this covered for us. Okay. I love invincibility from aerial attacks. Dodging all this crap. That didn't work as exactly as I would have hoped, but okay. Only issue right now is that Stitch is getting ready to leave us. That's concerning. Okay, stop with the Destiny attack. Get off your damn high horse, you pain in the ass. Just not being able to. The constant chaining of invincibility is, you know, naturally, that's a thing, right? That's a thing that we have to worry about, is that constant invincibility chain. And he does it very well. It's so annoying. And if you don't remember, every time this guy uses a move, basically anytime he's not just standing still, just sitting there, anytime that happens, that invincibility kicks in. So the only time I can attack him is when he is simply standing and doing nothing, which is, it's ridiculous. It really is. Now, that's why we're using Stitch, to see if we can force through, you know, force through some of this stuff. Unfortunately, this guy's nowhere to be found. Can't attack him while this move is up. So we're just going to wait. Unfortunately, this wastes Stitch's time. Okay. And he's just wasting time again. Just gonna keep on doing this. Stitch, you want it? Thank you. So we're down to 6 bars on Stitch right now, which is not my favorite, but... And here we go again. Okay. The good news is Stitch has him in midair. We have not even broken through one of our bars yet. So I'm beginning to think the Fenrir thing is just not working. We were getting through a lot more damage on him before we started trying to use Fenrir. So I think we're going to go ahead and load up just the basic thing that we had. Unfortunately, my PS4 is... Not PS4, my PS3 is gradually dying. So, it's beginning to have trouble loading up all of this stuff. That's fine. We'll go back to the previous thing. I just wanted to see, you know, was there a chance... it was something I was thinking about over the course of the past 2 months. Was there a chance that using some alternative movesets, alternative setups would work? And unfortunately, the answer is no. No, they didn't do anything at all. And hey, that's fine. That's actually not a big deal. I think the thing is that just we juggle him a lot more when we're not using those finishers, and we just get a lot more of this incremental damage. Okay, I'm not doing a very good job of dodging his attacks right now, but I'll remember them. See, we got all this like kind of incremental damage that we do when we're doing these more basic attacks. So I think that's what we're missing. Damn it. God, these chained attacks. I was expecting him to chain, but I thought I had my invincibility kick up, but I unfortunately did not. Kind of depressing. It's fine. We're gonna get it. We're gonna get it eventually. I have absolutely no doubt that at some point I'm gonna beat this guy. I'm just gonna get that muscle memory back, knowing kind of when each of these attacks does something, exactly how each of the attacks works, things like that, and then I'll eventually get that back. And then when I have that, it'll be a lot easy to beat him. A lot easier. Okay, thank you, Donald. There we go. See, that's the type of thing I'm trying to remember how to do again. There we go. Okay. Okay, commands have been locked. Oh, he's doing it again? And I died. Got caught by 2 in a row. God, I hate that attack. And I don't know if I died from being hit or died from hitting fall. I think I died from being hit. Oh, that attack is so obnoxious. And I wasn't set up. I couldn't see him because the energy ball was in the way. You gotta run forward and just dodge through the energy ball, which gets rid of it. That's what I should have done. Wasn't really thinking about it. But yeah, we need these attacks. We really do. Okay. Thank you. Also, double thank you. I'm not going to even bother healing right now because this will get me my healing back. Yep, just wanted to get away from that attack. That's fine. Damn. Didn't time my invincibility right. Gotta time it right. I mean, being on the ground is the best way to dodge that crap, but, you know, naturally it just wasn't happening. He was not giving me any, wasn't giving me anything at all. Okay, guys, I really can't tell you just how much this fight started to suck as I fought over and over and over. It got so bad, actually, that I decided to record post-commentary about fighting Lingering Will after I had eventually beaten him, rather than sitting here and making you guys listen to me ramble for what ended up being, I think, about an hour and 15 minutes of straight, repeated fights. I also, just for fun, to let you guys see a good portion of these fights. I don't think I'm going to show you all of them, but you can see exactly how fast, how fast I got beaten over and over. But part of it was is learning a strategy. As I fought Lingering Will, I started noticing a couple of things about how this fight works and exactly how this boss is programmed. So the first thing I had to do, was really just learn how these movesets work. Lingering Will has a number of moves it uses, some more often than others. The very common one that you guys see is the swooping dash, and I learned there were 2 very good ways to dodge that. Option 1 is to let swooping dash hit you. It's going to knock you into the air. On the second swoop, you just do an aerial recovery, which gives you invincibility frames. And on the third, I would typically use magic and heal myself. When I got back to the ground, it would already all be over. Problem is, Lingering Will does frequently follow up one series of 3 dashes with a second series of 3 dashes, and that can cause some problems. What I really ended up having to figure out is, number 1, as you can see, every time I start a battle, I constantly summon Stitch. This is for a couple of reasons. Number 1, when you see Stitch, Stitch is blocking a couple of attacks for me. Not all of them, unfortunately, but he blocks a fair number of attacks. It makes it a lot easier for me to survive. But what we're really using Stitch for is for HP recovery and MP recovery. The HP recovery is less of a thing than the MP is. We want the MP just to heal myself. And I ended up finding that a lot of the moves with Lingering Will, you can just kind of sit and just take the damage. Just let the damage hit you, do nothing, and then once the attack is over, then heal yourself. And that's what I ended up doing a lot with a lot of these attacks. The attack where Lingering Will does the whip, for example, is one of those. So when Lingering Will started doing the swoop attack on me, the solution was have Stitch out, take the hits as necessary, and then heal myself. And typically just assume that Stitch was going to give me my health, or give my MP back so I could heal up. And that worked out pretty well. Keep an eye on my MP bar in the lower hand corner, and you'll see just how often Stitch was refilling me. So swoop was one of them. The second one is this fist punch thing. It's a fairly uncommon attack. You can either dodge or block it. Typically, I actually just got hit, mostly because I wasn't expecting it, and that ended up, causing me some problems. But it wasn't all that terrible. The third one is the big energy ball attack. This one's kind of interesting because Stitch will actually stop the energy ball from hitting you about 9 times out of 10. Typically, I rolled into the energy ball, which would either explode it on me, or if Stitch blocked it, it would knock the energy ball backwards and hopefully into Lingering Will. You'll see a lot of that a little bit later on. Knocking it into Lingering Will knocks Lingering Will up into the air, which gives me a chance to hit him. He also does the Destiny bike attack, where he jumps on this floating hover bike, looks like the Sparrow from Destiny, and then just kind of rams at you. He does this multiple times. Easiest way to deal with that one, as far as I can tell, is just to roll backwards. Roll directly towards your camera. When you do so, he's swooping directly at you and through the camera, and if you roll backwards, typically you'll land underneath him. He also has these little, basically the ghosts from Destiny, these little light orbs, you see them right now, that attack you. And those are kind of obnoxious. They deal a little bit of damage, but Stitch basically blocks all of them. So they're really just not going to do anything to you. What else? Also, and when you combo Lingering Will enough, Lingering Will does the gigantic whip attack. What's interesting about this attack is that if you have a second chance and once more, this attack cannot actually kill you unless you do an aerial dodge. So what I found is that if you just sit in the attack, do not aerial dodge, not do anything, the final part of the whip knocks you away from Lingering Will, and typically Lingering Will sits for about a second and a half prior to attacking you again. So you have plenty of time to heal yourself, and typically Stitch will keep you up. Let's see. Then there's the bow. Lingering Will shoots you, causes a randomization of your command menu, and you have to hit the button that says escape. If you hit the button that says fall, you basically instantly kill yourself. I think it's just a massive damage, but I've never really survived as far as I'm aware. If you hit escape, you get out. You can actually dodge the first one of these, and then he'll attack again. You dodge the second one, he attacks the third time, you dodge the third one, he stops. I found it really hard to do so, though, because I had to know the attack was coming. The final major attack that really gave me trouble, and you'll see this a lot as we get into basically this portion of the sped-up video, was Command Lock. This is kind of a more random thing. Lingering Will only seems to do this towards the middle of the fight, at least with any regularity, and it locks either your melee attacks or your magical attacks, one or the other, either all melee or all magic. And what gets annoying about this is that you have to use whatever you have left. If he locks magic, you have melee. If he locks melee, you have magic. You have to use the attack you have available to you to deal enough damage to break a small health bar in order to break out of that and get all your commands back. This is kind of obnoxious because Lingering Will would typically do this at times when I had no way to attack him. So you'd have to find some way to do it. This is where Stitch comes into play. So one of the big things Stitch did that made an incredible impact on the fight is that Stitch would do the ukulele attack. Ukulele would knock Lingering Will up in the air, keeping him temporarily unable to attack me, giving me time to either heal myself, run in and grab the health orbs that come off of Lingering Will, which is enough to fully heal me. I don't even need to heal in that case. Or it would give me enough time to run in and get a couple of hits on my own. So Stitch was basically invaluable when we started with the first half of the fight. So with all of that said, with how Lingering Will's fight works, I haven't got into the Desperation attack. I'll talk about that when we get to it. So each of these fights, if you notice, about this point, keep in mind, we're about 15-20 minutes into what the recording actually was. I was starting to fairly regularly get Lingering Will to his Desperation move, and the way the fight would work would be pretty simple. First of all, I would block and do a reflect on Lingering Will's first attack, and giving the time that this gave me, the couple invincibility frames, I would immediately summon Stitch. And then I would just counter whatever Lingering Will did. Whatever moveset he used, I would immediately try to get myself out of it long enough to get Lingering Will on the ground for a short period of time. Or I would let Stitch ukulele him. Whatever of these two effects was more likely to happen. Once Lingering Will was available, I would run in and attack. Now this is where things get interesting, because I didn't actually learn that this worked until about 10 minutes into the recording. What I would do is, instead of just outright attacking Lingering Will like I did previously, which is where I would run in and do like 3 finishing moves, and then try to do another 2 finishing moves before he did the whip attack, what I would do is I would run in, do enough damage to get the first finishing move, let him land, then I'd do enough ground attacks to do a second finishing move, let him land, then work for a third. Or if we were in the air, I would wait until Sora did his second finishing move, which knocks Lingering Will to the ground, but Sora lands faster. But this keeps Lingering Will helpless in midair. This would give me enough time to go in, attack, and get some work done. But what's interesting is we started getting more and more damage. The more attacks you have in a combo, the more damage you deal. And so finding that I could just go in and, continuously combo up meant I was getting Lingering Will's health bar down faster and faster and faster. So it meant I may only be in the battle for 15, 20, 30 seconds, and we're already to the Desperation move. So when you see me attacking, most of the time, I'm doing those. See, look at the health bar, how fast it gets chipped off. That was one series of combos. And that's how fast we can get him. Now, naturally, he can get me just as fast, so it became more of a... Once I learned that strategy, once I learned that I could just go in, beat the ever-loving crap out of him, and then back off a little bit and then reset, that made me dig through his health bar a lot faster. So as you watch these high-speed battles, keep in mind, I'm losing most of them, but just watch how fast his health starts getting chipped down as we start going into these multiple combos. It made it so we could get through his fight a lot faster, getting me to the portions that were actually hard. Now, what ends up happening is when Lingering Will gets to about his 50% or less health mark, he typically does one thing. It's the attack you see right here. He vanishes and sends the 5 aerial ghosts at you. Then this is his Desperation move. And his Desperation move has 4 specific moves in it that have different methods of dodging. I'll talk more about these when we get to the main fight when I actually won. But he'll charge up, which he's doing right now, and then he rushes at you and does a series of attacks. Then he teleports and does another series of attacks that are mostly AoE. Then he teleports again, does another couple of attacks, and then he's done. And then he falls out of Desperation. What I found is that all of these moves, if you time them right, you can actually survive him hitting you. If he hits you, just let him. That's the whole thing with Lingering Will. Do not aerial dodge. Let him keep hitting you. Once more and second chance should keep you alive just long enough. You have to learn what the last attack in the moveset is. That way you can do an aerial recovery, heal yourself, and get ready for the next attack. That's if he hits you. What I found is that if you are gliding away from him on his first attack Desperation, you're going to see this right here, he's going Desperation right now. If you glide away from him, well, not this one, I got to hit this one. But if you glide away from him, you can dodge the first attack. When he starts up his second attack, he actually teleports to you, no matter really how far away you are. You notice how close I am in this one. He teleports no matter how far away you are. If you curve your attack, kind of like you saw me do just now, you can dodge the second one. The third one I had trouble with. Sometimes I could dodge it, sometimes I didn't, and it ended up me just saying, you know what, screw it, I'm just going to dodge no matter what, or I'm just going to get hit no matter what. I'm going to accept the fact that I'm going to get hit, and that's how I'm going to go from there. Once he hits you with the final hit of that combo, which again, if you don't aerial dodge, you will survive the combo. When he hit you the last thing of the combo, it was just a matter of healing myself and getting ready to fight again. But this is where Lingering Will becomes a pain in the ass, because he will chain desperation moves. He'll go over and over and over. You probably have seen this already in the playback so far, and you'll see more of it, because it was the #1 thing I had to survive, was just one after another. And the big problem for me was it was Stitch keeping me alive, so I had to find some way to keep Stitch in combat. And there was never really any good time for me to recast Stitch once we got to desperation moves. Now, what I have seen, up until this point, I have watched some speed runs of Kingdom Hearts and some explanation of kind of how desperation moves work. And one of the things I understand is that if you hit the enemy enough, there is a desperation counter in the background that lifts. But if they hit you, it goes down. So finding ways to attack him a bunch and then let him attack me back seemed to push off his desperation move a little more. So now you notice we're down to like 6 health bars as opposed to about 9. And I figured that might help me. If he was hitting me more, it might make it a little bit easier for me to deal with because he wouldn't desperation immediately. I had some mixed success with it. So you notice right now, instead of desperation immediately, he went into other attacks. I think that's partly just because he was able to attack me a lot. So just kind of a really weird strategy, figuring out ways to dodge all the attacks and then go in and deal with them. Now, one thing I was told, and I say this a little bit later on in the episode, but remember this was post-commentary, the stuff that's later on in the episode wasn't. I had someone talk to me about ways to beat Lingering Will, and what they said was take off all of your physical attack moves, take off all of your abilities, just go with Fenrir, negative combo, and you just hit him, let him fall, hit him, let him fall, hit him, let him fall. I tried to do something similar to that, but it simply didn't work. He went desperation, I had no way to counter him. Whoops. This was where my controller was going out of batteries. In the middle of the fight, it wasn't good. And I was doing really well, too. It was really obnoxious. I was having some trouble getting commands to attack. You'll notice he's down to 3 health bars. So, but this attack right here typically indicates that he was going to go into desperation, and he didn't. This is where I got pissed off, though, because this happened over and over and over, and it was the #1 reason for me to lose for a while, was that he would lock my attacks just prior to starting to spam desperation moves. In this case, he locked me down to magic. So I had to find some way to get him to get magic damage off on him, but I simply couldn't find any opening. And typically magic damage would mean me casting Thunder over and over and over. I tried right there, but what ends up happening is when he does a desperation move, generally I have to finish his desperation by healing myself, so I can't get mana to then go in and deal with him. Stitch ran out, I tried everything I could, did really well, was building up limit again, building up drive in order to summon Stitch again, which I think I actually did. I think I was able to get Stitch going again. And this actually taught me that I was able to survive just long enough to get enough drive to call Stitch in again, which I did use in the winning attempt. Here comes Stitch, but I get locked again. This was my attacks that were locked, or my magic that was locked. I couldn't heal myself. So, kind of a pain. And I felt really bad, too, because that was my closest attempt, and so that meant, naturally, that this particular attempt was going to be one that would not end well. So you'll watch, and this, just gone. It was immediate. He just kicked my ass. But then, magic happened. So we finally got to a point where I was pretty comfortable with how the fight was going to go. So, first of all, we start with the Reflect immediately off the bat. Reflect. Give me enough time to call in Stitch, and yes, I took damage, but that was fine, because I can just heal myself. He's going to give me a chance. And then we're going to run in, and we're going to start doing things. So watch as I attack him. So we're going to go, we're going to do one finisher, wait, go attack, do another finisher, wait. Watch his health bar melt. Now, at about the 3rd or 4th one, he'll start doing the whip attack like here. So I'm just going to let it hit me, get knocked back, heal myself. No harm, no foul. Stitch knocks him up in the air, giving me an opening, and all of a sudden it's go in, do it again. Remember, that second aerial finisher is going to knock him to the ground, so it's not going to be that hard for me to deal with him. And once again, he knocked me away. And this time I don't have mana, but that's not bad, because Stitch is throwing such amazing health balls out that it's easy for me to handle. There's that triple attack, so dodged one, aerial covered the other, and then healed myself. And once again, we're still melting his health using these very short combos. But the more I do this, the higher my combo damage goes, because we're still comboing up. So here's a couple attacks, that's fine. And I did a couple blocks because I found that if you block the third attack in this, he lands a lot closer, which means it's a lot easier to go melee him. So right about now is when he typically starts going into desperation. But what I found is that he had done a fair amount of damage to me, so he didn't go into desperation as fast as I was expecting to. But this attack typically means desperation's on the way, so I started gliding, just to make sure that I was moving quickly. It also gave Stitch a chance to get my mana up, but for some reason he didn't go into desperation. I don't know if this is because Stitch was playing at the time, and I just got lucky and he got knocked into a combo with me, or if this was because he wasn't ready to go desperation yet. He's going to knock me into the air, I'm going to heal myself, and all of a sudden we're back to these. So once again, I'm preparing to deal with the desperation move, which should happen right about now. I'm also listening for him, so there he is. So first I'm going to run away from him. He's going to start attacking right now, but I'm away, so he can't hit me. I'm just going to fly, well, I was going to fly straight away, it didn't happen. Heal myself, go into the next attack. Notice that I'm not aerial dodging, I'm letting him hit me. Stitch heals me, I go. He's going to attack me one more time, he's going to hit me, and I'm just knocking aerial dodge. One attack, bam. Now we're back into normal. And this is where things got amazing. Stitch caught him. So I was able to go in and start dealing a crap ton of damage and make sure that he did not get a chance to respond. I was feeling so good at this time. Except with one hit left. What a jerk. Now, things weren't necessarily that bad, but I kind of figured a desperation move was going to be coming in at about this time, and I would have to survive it. Weirdly enough, he didn't do a desperation, so all I needed to do was come up with one single combo, and any finisher was going to do it. And I'll let you see what happens next. I did it! It's done! This motherfucker is dead! Yes! Oh my god. Okay, and so what cutscene do I get? Okay, so this is it, huh? Okay. So plant that Keyblade. You gonna fall over? Come on, fall over. You lose. You lose. Good day, sir. Proof of connection. Proof of winning the battle in the portal at Disney Castle. Perhaps has changed Sora. You have earned a trophy, Lingering Will. Max 9 drive. And check out that lovely golden crown on Sora's head. Let's get a zoom in on that. Yeah. Yeah, look at that crown. Look at it. It's still here? Huh. Now you can find him again. Okay. So journal. Missions. Complete. I was actually kind of concerned it would make me do it again. You have earned a trophy, Seeker. You have earned a trophy, Conqueror. Okay, that's all my character links to, so just Lingering Will. Okay. You have earned a trophy, Professor. That should be all of them, too. Like, I should be getting my platinum right about now. What did I get? I got an item? Oh, proof of connection. Okay. All my drive recoveries and all that nonsense. Okay, can't help but feel we're missing something, so let's go investigate. Trophy collection, that one. This one, right here. Still thinks I'm missing something. What do you think I'm missing? I'm pretty sure I've done everything. Collect all treasures in Gemini Journal? I'm pretty much 100% sure we've done that. You have earned a trophy Treasure Hunter, so I just had to go look. And you have earned a trophy Kingdom Hearts 2 Master. Oh, thank you. Okay. that's it, guys. We are done. We have 100% mastered this game. Everything is complete. Oh my god. Oh, that feels so good. And I'm happy to have shared it with you guys. That was a lot of fun. You know, naturally, big deal being able to do this. It was a incredible amount of fun for me. I've always loved Kingdom Hearts 2. I look greatly forward to 3, but we have other Kingdom Hearts games to go in the future, and I will be going into those 100% blind. I literally have never played Kingdom Hearts that was not 1 Chain of Memories or 2, so we're going to probably go play those in the future. This felt just amazing to be able to get this done. This is stuff that I've never done. You know, what was really fun with Lingering Will as a fun boss is I've never fought that boss. I never looked anything up for him. I had a couple of people in like real life who I mentioned I was fighting Lingering Will, and they kind of mentioned a couple strategies that I chose not to use. So that's why I went and did the hard way. But it was a great deal of fun. 3 months of excellence, and now it's finally complete. All the trophies. Now I'm going to have to go do it all over again on the PS4. Oh, I'm not looking forward to that. But that's going to be on my own private time. You guys enjoy yourselves. Thank you for joining me. And I'll see y'all next time.